So now let's look at the angles in parallel lines. So generally, let's take this that AB is parallel to CD. So I mean this line and this line are parallel, and PQ is parallel to RS. Right? So let's focus only on PQ is parallel to RS now. That is, this line and this line are parallel, and then this is a third line, right? A third line passing through the two parallel lines. Around the third line, right? I mean around these intersection points, let me call it as I1 and I2, right? Intersection 1 and intersection 2. We can play around with the angles. First and foremost, let's only focus on this part, okay? That is AB cutting PQ, which is the straight line thing, right? If this is 30 degrees, so what should be this? The entire thing is 180, so this should be 150, right? 180 minus 30 is 150. Now AB is a straight line, this is 150, this has to be 30, and this has to be 150. Now I got these four angles around the point I1. Two parallel lines, right, cut by a third line at points I1 and I2, let's say I1 and I2, then the angles around these points will be exact replicas. So that means 150, 30, 150, I see this, right? So this has to be 30. That's basically copy this, the entire thing, and paste it here. 150, 30, and this be 150. See this again, two parallel lines cut by a third line at intersection 1 and intersection 2. Then this entire thing will be copy paste here. Right, in the same positions, 150, 150, 30, 30, 30, 30, 150, 150. Right? Now, again, which are the two parallel lines I know? I know AB is parallel to CD. That is AB parallel to CD. Third line cutting is PQ. So if this is I1, this is my I2. So I just have to replicate this and copy and paste it here. So I'll get 150 here, 30 here, 150 here, and 30 here. Similarly, AB and CD are two parallel lines, and RS is the line cutting through that. Same replica, 30, 150, 30, and 150. Right? I am replicating this to this. Or you can also look at these two parallel lines cut by third line, whatever it is. Right? But just make sure that the logic is this two parallel lines cut by third line at 2 points. Then around these 2 points, I just have to replicate all the four angles in both. Now, what is this angle? I guess some of you might have thought this to be 30. Some of you are still looking how to find this. You might think this is 150 and this is 30 and this is 150. Replicate this here, but that's absolutely wrong. Right? Why? Because read this point clearly. Two parallel lines cut by third line at 2 points is where the replication happens. So if I take this to be one of the point, if I take even this has to be another point, right? So PQ is the line that is cutting, right? CD and EF, are they parallel? No, right? They will be meeting at some point, right? If I extend these two, CD and EF are not parallel lines. As I said, the points around which the angles are replicated should be such that the two parallel lines are cut by a third line. But no, CD and EF are not parallel. Similarly, even if I look at this point and this point, they too are not cut by PQ such that AB and EF are parallel. No, AB and EF are not parallel lines. So that's why again I won't be able to replicate. Right? Very similar to this point also, right? This point and this point are cut by line RS. The CD and EF are cut by RS to get this point and this point. Is CD and EF a pair of parallel lines? No. Similarly, is AB and EF a pair of parallel lines? No. That's why I cannot replicate the angles around this point to this point. But definitely if I know this, let's say is 110, this has to be 110. This points replicate, yes. These two are copy paste. Why? Because EF is the third line cut by two parallel, PQ and RS are the two parallel lines cut by a third line EF. So these 2 points are points of intersection and hence they are going to be replicated. So if this is 110, this has to be 70, this is 110 and this has to be 70. So 110, 70, 110, 70, that's how I replicate exact copy paste around these 2 points. But these points have nothing to do with these other points. As I said, be careful of this point. Two parallel lines cut by third line and around those 2 points of intersection is where I can replicate. Not every 2 points I see. Now AB is parallel to CD, that is this line is parallel to CD, PQ is parallel to EF, and FH is parallel to QS. Find the value of X, that is this, right? So I know this is X, this is 64. If I can find this entire angle, right, that is this angle, I can definitely get X. And that seems to be easier approach for me. So now, because this is 32, what should this be? This is a straight line, right? AB is a straight line, this is 32, this has to be 180 minus 32 is, oh, that's 148. And if you see this, so AB is a straight line, FH and QS are parallel lines, right? So they're cut at this point. So the angles I see should be replicated here, right? So if this is 32 and this is 148, even this is 32 and this is 148. That means this has to be 32 and this has to be 148, right? Because as I said, these are the 2 points. FH and QS are parallel lines cut by a third line AB. So this is replicated, 32, 148, 32, 148. Done. Now I need to figure out remaining things, which is very easy for me, right? What is this? This is a straight line, right? OQRS is a straight line. So this entire angle, let me use a different color. This entire angle should be 180 degrees. So this entire angle is 64 degrees plus X degrees plus 32 degrees. That is 180 degrees. So 64 plus 32 is 96 plus X is 180. So X is 180 minus 96, that is 84. So the value for X is 84, right? I don't need to know anything else other than this. This is just slightly overloaded, question basically with a lot of overloaded information. Simply just figuring out this 32 and 32, this is straight line, 180 is the way to solve it. But you can spend time in figuring out these angles and then sort of doing it. There's nothing wrong in that in a way. And if this is 32, AC and AB and CD are parallel lines, so this is 32, this is 32. So if this is 32, this has to be 148. So this is 32 and this is also 148. Once I know this is 148, this entire angle has to be 148 because these two are replicated around these 2 points. So then this is 148, so 64 plus X is 148. I do it, I get 84. It's all the same. It's just about how long a route, how much long would the solution take is the thing. So make sure that you understand this concept better. These are simple angles which are used in multiple places like the quadrilaterals, the triangles and all the places. So just make sure that you're comfortable with dealing with the angles, 180 minus, 180 plus, 360 minus, how to do parallel lines, etc. so that you can solve questions in the advanced topics better.